Welcome back to the PlugHouse podcast. I am your host, Mike Pederock, the Sleeping Lady's only son. And as always, I got my co-host, Sammy, in here. And today's special guest, all the way from Fairbanks, Alaska, Bishop Slice.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
It was a long drive.
Still getting your breath back?
Yeah.
Today's this podcast is sponsored by Magic Media. You could visit them at the Glamour Bard, GLAMOURBARD, on TikTok and Instagram. So, I already asked you this, but we'll ask you again for the sake of the podcast. How was the drive?
It was cool.
When did it start to get dark?
Probably like just a couple hours before I got here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you hit the road around noon, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, just a little bit after 1.
You said you're coming from the village.
Yeah.
Is that where you stay?
Yeah, I got a house out there.
Is that far from
It's like 3 hours away.
Fairbanks?
Yeah, it's just a cool little drive.
And were you born in Fairbanks?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
37.
Okay. All right.
That's
man.
weird to ask people how old they are.
He's a man. I can ask him, right? He's a man. That means he's smart. He's knowledgeable. You know. I wasn't sure if you were born and raised out there.
Yeah.
So when I say Cushman, what does that mean to you?
Home.
Is that a street?
Cushman. South Cushman.
That's a street.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you got
How
to.
do you know that?
Because I did some research today.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I did do my due diligence.
He's the type A personality. I'm the type B. I just show up.
Okay.
And so how many, I've been following you for, I can't even tell you how many years, probably closer to 10, during your journey before you had the facial hair.
Yeah.
And how long have you been active in the scene?
I started like actually performing when I was 18.
Yeah. Like you took your music outside the house, out to the city.
Yeah. Like when I was 18. And then when I was 19 is when I left Alaska to do a show down in Lawrence, Kansas at Haskell University. Okay.
And then you were like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I didn't know there was that many natives out there.
Did you rap fast then?
Yeah, I was starting to. Yeah.
In the beginning? Well, before you started making music, who was your influences?
Well, it kind of depends because I like
what made you start rapping though? What music were you listening to is what I want to know.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's not even like when you rap, I don't hear no Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I know, but that's what got me. And then it was Snoop Dogg, then it was Tupac, and then I started like digging into Biggie and shit like that. And then M came out, and then I started listening to Tech, and I was just everywhere.
Who was the first rap artist you had memorized?
Snoop.
Mine was Snoop. It was that Lottie Dottie.
Really?
Yeah.
From Doggy Style. It was my mom's CD. My mom had the Doggy Style and Dr. Dre the Chronic.
Mine was Tupac.
Tupac? Which one?
Yes.
That was my third CD.
How Do You Want It? It was the first
You
CD
Want
I
It?
ever bought. It was that single with California Love and How Do You Want It? I think there was like 3 different versions of it on the album.
Really?
Like that's all that the CD contained was literally those 2 songs, but like 3 different versions.
Yeah, because like back then they had those like little.
The
Yes,
little
yeah.
single versions.
Yes, that was my first CD I ever bought. I bumped that shit so hard. My big ass boombox in my room.
What are some of your favorite places to perform out there?
It used to be the Loon until it burnt down, and then it was then I like performing at the Marlin a lot. But
That's the place with the short roof?
yeah, it's like downstairs, but then they closed down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really liked the Marlin because it was like so many walks of life that used to come there, and they just wanted to see like music. It didn't matter what the genre was. Like I used to go there too, like for open mic, just to sit back and like enjoy the music. Like people would rap, do bluegrass, rock, country, R&B, whatever, and I would just sit there and just
Hang out?
yeah. And
That's kind of like how I felt Juno was. So we went down there for a
Yes.
rap battle event, and
That was weird as
they had
shit.
like a wordplay was like, "Come on, we got a
weird.
show tonight." And I'm thinking it's just a little rap show, but it's
All of
everything
a sudden,
else.
There's like
It was
bluegrass
everything
hippie
else.
festival.
But it
I'm
was
like,
cool
what
because,
the hell is going on?
Right.
like you said, there was all walks of life down there, and they were there to enjoy all the music.
Yeah,
it didn't matter what it was.
Exactly.
So
They're-
it was definitely cool to see.
Yeah.
They were charging us like 60. Was it?
It was
30
$60 a person.
Yeah, at the door.
60.
Yes.
I didn't. I
It
paid
was
for
wild.
it, and then I saw it go through on my card and on my phone. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna go back here, and I was like, I'm not. I came here to see these guys. They sang one song and they're fucking done. And the lady at the front door was like, no, we make sure we pay all these artists. I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
I'm fine with the $120 bill then.
He was hot when he was like 120 for one song.
Yeah,
because
I'm over here thinking because Anchorage artists don't get paid ever. Do you guys get paid out there?
It kind of depends
On who and who you're dealing with, I guess?
Yeah, so like now I pick and choose my spots, you know, because like I used to be everywhere just doing
all the
shows.
time.
Yeah, there's sometimes where I'd perform in front of thousands, in front of hundreds. There's sometimes where I perform in front of like 5 or 10 people. So now I'm at the point to where I pick and choose
Which shows you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're seasoned enough now that you know you don't have to be out there every Friday night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got kids.
Yeah, that too. that too.
Look, I have kids. I still be going outside. He's not happy about it.
She goes to too many shows.
I love being outside.
I already
love
spent
it.
my time doing all that.
I love the energy.
So then, if that place shut down and the other one burnt down, where do you guys got to perform now?
There's the Big Eye, you know.
That's the one I hear. Yeah.
But that's like just like it's so narrow and it's like a hall.
Was it only fit a
so
small
it's
amount
not
of people?
Big Eye.
Yeah, like so like during the summer, you could get like quite a few people outside because they'll have the stage outside. But during the winter,
Not doing a big show out there.
nah.
You've done a few shows out here, haven't you? Anchorage.
Mm-hmm.
What about think about the music scene out here?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man.
What do you think's the difference? Because who was on here? Brad. Brad said that we just have more places than you guys to perform.
Yeah, you guys definitely have more places, and not only that, more people.
I will say I think Fairbanks artists are more loyal to each other though. That's what I see is the difference between Fairbanks artists and Anchorage artists.
What do you mean? Like they're
Because Anchorage artists are really out for themselves. Fairbanks artists are really like you see them put each other on. Like they're always screaming out each other.
Yeah.
You don't see that in Anchorage. You don't see people screaming out other artists down here. Like you're gonna hear Sly scream out for Starbucks, for you know what I'm saying, Alaska Red, anybody
Yeah.
from Fairbanks. They're gonna holler out they're gonna shout out the other artists from Fairbanks.
Right.
And you don't see that down here.
yeah.
And I think that's what makes the Fairbanks artists such a strong community.
People say that about you guys out there. That the love that you guys share is better than what we have out here.
Well, we're trying to, you know, we're just trying to get to where we need to go, and it's not only it doesn't really pertain to Fairbanks, you know, but like Alaska as a whole, you know, because I've never seen, and I was just talking about this the other night. I've never seen it like Fairbanks and then Anchorage or whatever. I always see like Alaska as a whole, you know, just trying to make it. Like I love every part of this state.
Yeah.
You know, I love the cities, the little towns, the villages, because we're all one area code, which is a 907.
Yeah, which
You
is
know?
tight,
Yeah.
which is cool. As far as I know, I've scoured the internet. You are the dopest Alaska Native rapper we got,
Appreciate that.
and also the fastest.
yeah.
If you
Definitely the fastest.
I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube, but there's a couple of random people out there who've made videos on. There's one that the greatest rappers in Alaska. You're on that list, and then someone else made some video of the fastest rapper in every state. So all 50 on there, and I got all the way to Alaska, and it was you.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I mean, you're out there.
yeah.
Even though you come from tiny ass Fairbanks, Alaska, you're pretty up there. And I was looking at some of the numbers on your stuff, which you got those two. You got I'm from Fairbanks and the North with Bucks,
Mikey, yeah.
and that's combined. That's 150,000 views. Did you feel like those were going to be? You knew they were going to be big as they were.
Well, how all that started is, you know, I promised his uncle, you know, rest in peace to Bozak. When we were locked up, he was like, Bishop, you need to fuck with my nephew, Mikey. And I was like, yeah, I know who Mikey is. Yeah. He's like, nah, when you get out, he's like, promise me that you'll fuck with him. And I was like, yeah, I got you. So I wanted it to be like the right time. And I just didn't want to like force something.
Yeah.
So when I wrote I'm from Fairbanks, I was like, yeah,
This is the one I'm going to pitch to him.
And then ever since then, you know, it's just, I mean, shit, we've been working with each other. I mean, that's like my brother, man.
So
you know?
his uncle in jail told you to fuck with him.
Yeah.
And you hadn't met him yet. Had you heard of him yet at all?
Who Mikey?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
That's
knew,
how you know their family. You call him Mikey.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I knew Mikey, like we had like a couple run-ins and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember he brought up Yuck Mouth and shit like that, and you know, I went there and you know, to support and shit. I mean, he's from my section. Like I know Mikey, but like, you know, he was older than me. So like we were like from the same side, but ran with like different age groups.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he was like
He's a little older.
he was like the bigger homie, you know, and I was just younger, you know, like getting my feet wet and shit like that.
I wonder if his uncle put in the good word for you too beforehand.
I don't know, but but we call him Uncle Bo, and he was a real pimp. He was like he had like the hose straw, like where he would have like his little hose and shit. He died in prison though, and but he had like that little hose straw, and I remember he was like the wing cleaner, like when I was facing life and shit. And me and Dub, rest in peace too. He would come and we had that little tray slot, and he'd be like, "What's up?" And I'm like, because he was cleaning when it was like lockdown, and we were laying down, and I was like, "What's up, Uncle Bo?" And he used to like give us like game and shit. And he was like, "Man," he was like, "I tells a bitch like this, you either choose me or the hospital. She don't want to choose a hospital, so she got to choose me." You know what I'm saying?
Oh my Lord.
Pimping. I know.
Pimping
Yeah.
since been pimping since
Yeah.
been pimping.
Yeah, rest in peace to Bozak.
Just based on, because I had Bucks and his dad here, just based off how his dad talks, I believe all that.
I
pimping
believe
shit.
it 100%.
Oh, yeah.
All that.
Mac Daddy.
Yeah, all of that.
And it's still free Starbucks till
Yeah.
it's backwards.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, free bucks. And then you guys put out what is it, Gold Kings?
Yeah, we did the Gold Kings.
What do you think makes you two a good combo?
I mean, not only because we're from like the same section, but like just our just like the vibe that we got, and like the chemistry and shit when it comes to music, because we're all about Alaska. So like I think that's what kind of like separates us from, because everything that we do is all Alaska references.
It's
Yeah.
Alaska. It's not just drugs, guns, and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
I
It's
tell a
Alaska
lot of
references.
artists here, I try to tell them all the time, you need to put more street names, more locations, more stuff into your music, because when people hear that and they react, it means so much more.
Yeah.
Especially when they hear their street or their neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's what causes
Yeah,
them to.
or their town,
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah, I did FBK, and one of the homies, rest in peace too, he used to come by my cell in the morning, like right after we had breakfast, and he was like, "I'm gonna give you a topic, and by the time I come back," he's like, "I want you to have a song ready." And then he'd come by and like he'd be like, "Hey man, I want a song called Body and Mind." So I'd write something, and then he was like, "I want a song about all the streets in Fairbanks, or like streets in Fairbanks." So I did a 16, and I was like, first I went like to the south side, and then I was like thinking like streets of Fairbanks. So I start to name these streets like they were people, and like told a story, and then I did FBK, and then he was like, "You need to keep going." He was like, "Do something about the east side, west side, downtown, Farmers Loop, North Pole, Esther, Murphy Dome, all that." And he was like, "And I'll be back by dinner." And then I had FBK done, and I told like this big story, and I was like going all over Fairbanks, and I was mentioning all the streets, and like I'd be riding down here, then it's like talking about Stacia, and Stacia, that's a street that never sleeps, and but I talked about Stacia like it was a girl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how I did FBK, but
You were I've heard you talk about it in some of your songs from time to time, and you just mentioned it, that you were serving a life sentence.
nah, I was facing life.
Facing a life sentence.
Yeah, for attempted murder.
For attempted murder.
Mhm.
And obviously you're free.
Yeah.
So let's back it up.
Okay.
Let's back it up a little bit.
Because I didn't see the newspaper articles. I didn't see it on the news. I just hear you talking about it.
Yeah.
And obviously you run with some thorough people, so I believe your story.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear from you about this is what it said happened. I sat in jail for this long, sweating my fucking brains out, wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And then
So I got arrested for a dope charge,
okay.
and it was basically like wrong place, wrong time.
Okay.
And I walked out of Fairview Manor, which is torn down now, and they were looking for a robbery suspect, and they said I fit the description. So when I was coming out of this apartment complex, I saw like 9 cops outside, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And it was like a secure building, and I was like trying to call, let me back in, and then they shined the light on me, and I was like, "Fuck."
You're hit.
So yeah. And then I went to grab like the work that I had, and I went to throw it over, like to try to throw it over the roof, you know, because it's like snow and everything.
Yeah.
There, so it would probably just disappear.
Yep.
And they were like, take your fucking hands out of your fucking pocket.
Get on the fucking ground.
And I was like, and I went like this, and I was like, fuck. And then I got indicted when I was in there.
So you thought you were getting hit for the drugs?
No. See, so I did get hit for that, but
when they arrested you, they weren't coming at you for that.
No,
they were there for something else.
Yeah, they were there for somebody.
But you thought that's what they were coming for you for.
I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
But they were looking for somebody that was in all royal blue and I was in all black. So they brought me down to the station, and they had me like in like this like lineup type room, and there was like that glass where you can't see through.
Yeah.
And
like in the movies.
Yeah, and then like somebody came to see if that was a person. They were like, no, that's not the guy that tried to rob me. You know. And
So they didn't point you out.
Huh?
They didn't pick you out?
No, they said that's not him.
Okay.
But they still found the dope. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So they got you on that.
Yeah, then I was down at the precinct, then they had the DEA talk to me. And I was tired, and I was not even gonna lie, I was a little fucking lit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, probably.
And I was just sitting there because, you know, my dad, he did 17 years in the feds. So I've always had like this grudge when it comes to like law enforcement. Yeah. And fucking just from like them stripping my family away, or my dad away from our family and shit like that. And the DEA came by, and they did not look like DEA. They looked like they just got done fucking snowboarding. They were fucking
really.
The person was young, had long hair down to here, backwards hat and everything, snow pants and shit. Like they just came from fucking like Moose Mountain or some shit.
Young kids.
Yeah, it was young.
Yeah,
and he was like, "So I want to help you get out of here, and I want to see you walk out those doors right now." And I was just sitting there, and I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "Can you tell us where you got this from?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay, so where did you get it?" And I said, "Fuck you." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Fuck you and die slow." I was like, "I ain't no fucking snake like you. I just want to see how you looked, you know?" And then the officer came and got me, and he fucking put me in the holding cell, and he's like, "Man, I'm putting the cuffs on you extra tight." He's like, "How do you like that?" I was like, "I don't fucking care." And I just like laid down. I think I passed out for like an hour and a half or like 2 hours, and then they booked me. And then I got indicted on a stabbing charge from a year previous in that. And then so I'm fighting all these charges. I bailed out. Finally, I got my bail reduced to where I could like get out. And they sentenced me, and they said, you know, since it was like I was like a first time offender, you know, so they hit me with like the SIS and shit like that. And I was only on fucking probation for 6 days.
Oh, wow.
And I caught an attempted murder.
Damn. Yeah.
And I didn't want to go out to that party. I had a fucking weird feeling. But, you know, my girlfriend at the time, rest in peace, you know, she got murdered when I was locked up, and she got stabbed in the heart.
Holy crap.
That's crazy. It's like protecting somebody, you know, just for her to get murdered, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I took that time on the chin, you know, like a man, and I sat back, you know, doing all that time comfortably, because just knowing that she was okay, you know, I was good, you know, that was my best friend. But yeah, I went to a party, and there are some people that I was with, and something happened between them and somebody else, and I was down by the bonfire with my girlfriend, and fight broke out. So I went up there, and I was like, "Hey man, they came with me, and they're leaving with me."
Yeah.
You know, I was like, "Back up."
Yeah.
And then I put them in the truck, and I was like, "Man, we got to go." Then they were like swinging in like at them, like while they were in the truck in the back. And when they went to try to swing in, they punched my girlfriend.
Oh.
And then that's when I hopped out, and I was like, "Fuck this." But I told her, I was like, "Man, run these motherfuckers over right now. Back the fuck up." You know? And she's like, I can't. I was like, "Fuck that." And she was like crying and shit, and it was all like chaotic. And I hopped out, and I was like, "Man, back the fuck up." And this dude came at me with a fucking bottle, and I pulled my blade out, and
got him.
stuck him right in the neck in the motherfucking
My
face.
my homeboy Mac Juice told me, he says, you don't ever have to shoot nobody. You just got to cut them because you slice somebody open and they'll think twice about what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, definitely.
I never forgot that.
I like that up close shit.
Yeah, personal.
So you got him, you sliced him,
Yeah.
and then you sat down for attempted murder.
Yeah, for attempted murder. And then,
On the slicing?
yeah, because so the way that I got him, it nicked
Ooh.
his artery.
Okay.
But it was fucking dumb because
He's like, but fuck him.
but it was fucking dumb because like he almost died because like from what my attorney was saying is his friends were so fucking drunk that they tied
Something to
a
stop the
sweater
bleeding?
around his neck.
Oh,
and
shit.
he almost died.
Choking him the fuck
From
out
that.
with the
Exactly.
sweater.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't from like what I did. I mean, he was leaking. And,
Yeah.
and as soon as I
But
did
instead
that,
of holding it up against it, they choking him out.
they're
with the
choking him
sweater.
out. Yeah. So when he got there, he was just like this. But they said it was from him getting choked out.
Mhm.
It wasn't from me. But then they lied. They said that the dude was just trying to break up a fight, and I came up from behind him, put him in a headlock, and I start going like this with my hand and shit. So I was sitting there with my homeboy Dub, and we were cellies, and I was like, how the fuck does that shit work? So I was like, man, turn around real quick. and I put him in a headlock. I was like, there's no fucking way, because they're like this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking dumb.
I've seen that all too many times where it's really like when something happens at a party, and it's really like whoever has the most people at that party is who they're going to take.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah, they all had the same story, like somewhat of the same story, and it was bullshit, but like stories were like all over the place.
Yep.
Because everybody was fucked up, everybody was drunk, but I remember that shit like it was yesterday. And Dub is the one that got me out of doing all that life, and he was my cellie, you know, and you know he changed his life around, and he gave his life up to God and everything, and he was like on the straight and narrow, and then he died on the Parks Highway. Somebody like went into like his lane, hit him head on, and killed like him and his fiance.
Oh no.
But Dub, he knew the main witness in my case because he used to date his sister.
Okay.
So he hit him up, and he was like, hey man, you know, there's a lot of people in here that aren't really happy with what you did. He's like, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, you need to make that right. And he recanted his statement. So like I was facing, my first deal was my first deal was open sentencing up to 99. And then it went down, and it was like 25 to 29 years.
Oh wait.
I was like, fuck no. And then I was fighting it for like a year and a half, and it kept going down. Then it went down to 10 to 12. I was like, nope. And then after that, it went down to 8. And then I was like, nah, fuck that. And then we were having jury selection, and the DA was like, tell him 7 years. He's like, and that's all I'm going to do. And I was like, we're going to fucking trial. And then that night, I had an attorney visit, and it was like after lockdown and shit. So I went and talked to him, and he said that the DA has offered you 6 years. He's like, which is you only do 4 on 6. And he was like, I want to see you walk out those doors, and I want you to live a good life. And he was like, huh?
You took that?
Mm-hmm.
The 6?
Yeah, because he was like, they have
It wasn't about to get no lower.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah, for damn sure.
well, he was like, I didn't want to because I felt like I wasn't guilty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was like, they have enough ammunition to where they can bury you in trial.
Mm.
He's like, I want you to think long and hard tonight.
About it.
And I was thinking like, you know what?
Because
I
how
mean,
much time had you already served?
1.5.
by this point?
So I'd have to do
Yeah.
like what, 2.5?
2.5
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
and
ain't. Yeah. It's a cakewalk.
Then they sent me to Seward. And but yeah, they asked me like, what do you plea? And it took me so long
to answer.
And I was just
Yeah.
sitting there, I'm like, fucking dumb. And I was like, guilty, you know?
Yeah.
And I just took that shit, and they sent me down to Seward.
And then you got released when? What year?
I got released in 2013.
Okay.
Okay. So this was a long while ago. You were
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, I was only 21 for a month.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So then, do you know Taylor Smith, Mac Juice? White guy, long hair.
Juice?
Yeah.
Yeah, he be fucking with Righteous in them.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I know
That's
Juice.
my dog, bro.
Okay,
That's his
yeah.
brother.
That's my bro.
That's my
Yeah.
personal trainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
his lifelong. That's
Oh, this is
that
him right
is
here?
his
Yeah.
number
There's
one.
probably not a CD in there, but that's him. Yeah.
That's
I
his
helped him
number
put his
one.
fucking project out.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say there's a picture right behind
Yeah.
me somewhere.
Somewhere
of
up there
Juice.
too. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Juice right there
Yeah,
with
that's
the
my
long
dog,
hair.
bro.
Okay.
I taught him how to
Yeah.
rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We go
he-
back that far.
Yeah, he was spitting in there. Yeah, we were in Seward together.
Yeah, man. He's found God on a straight and narrow.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
He found
Good
God.
shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a personal trainer.
Personal trainer.
And he just goes
He's
to church all the
amazing.
time.
He's an asshole. He's an asshole personal trainer.
He's good shit though.
Oh my God.
So when you decide to come out with a project, what is your mindset? Do you like come up with like this is what I'm going to name the project and these are the 15 songs or I'm going to have 18 songs or what is your, or do you just record songs and be like, okay, it's time for a project. Let me pick from what I got.
No, I have to like the album needs to mean something to me. Like, you know, when we did Gold Kings, I wanted it to be like about Alaska.
Yep.
You know, it was like so like that was like the whole like theme and like topic of that album. And then I did The Untamable Tongue. And that was like 24 songs or 5 or something like that.
That's a dope name.
Yeah, The Untamable Tongue. That's in the Bible. Yeah, no man could tame the tongue.
Yeah.
And I did that and I was like chopping a lot on there, you know, and I was just going in. And then I did Concrete Salve. That was, you know, basically like a native album. And then this one, the new one that I'm coming out with is called What Happened During My Bender.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that.
That's a dope title.
It is a
Yeah.
dope title.
What Happened During My Bender. And it's like In My Moccasins is going to be on there
I
for
was
sure.
going to say, where did In My Moccasins come from? Like, where is that from, sir?
It's crazy because like I don't necessarily like like write down like, oh, I want to do a song about this. I just let the beat
Beat speak to you.
exactly, and then it moves me. Like I wasn't like, you know what, I want to name a song called "I Fuck My Bitch in My Moccasins." No, but I was listening to that beat and I was like, damn, and I was like,
It spoke to you.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I was in my moccasins,
Yeah.
and I was just like, and there's been many times like that's a true story.
bet.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
been
bet.
many times
Yeah,
I
and
fucked
I
your
was like,
bitch in
I
my
was like, I fucked
moccasins.
your bitch in my moccasins, you know.
And you're like, that's it.
And I was like, okay, and I just start going in, you know, and fucking. But I just let the beat like speak to me. But like with what happened during my bender, you know, this past summer I used to, you know, just like walk the South Side a lot, and even downtown, and I noticed like a lot of people that are going through like addiction problems and shit like that. Like it's definitely on the rise. And you know, I went through that shit too. You know, I was really, really, really fucking bad just because of depression and shit like that, and it's like losing like loved ones and just a whole bunch of shit, you know. So I felt them, and I would just sit there and like, you know, there'd be somebody just sitting on the sidewalk and, you know, drunker than hell, but I'll just sit next to them and just like listen to them, you know, and like hear their story and shit,
Yeah.
you know, because they're a person too.
Yep.
You know, they're probably battling some demons and shit that you have no clue, you know. I remember one time I was walking on the South Side and there's this guy, he was like this, you know, and I was like, hey man, you need something to, because I saw he had like a bottle of R&R, but there was still like that much left.
Yep.
And
That's what I used to drink.
yeah, obviously he was drunk. Oh shit.
Real classy broad.
Oh God. I've been sober since 18. Okay, let's be very clear right now.
She's like, I'll beat your man up.
She would, yeah.
But yeah, fucking, he was sitting there and he was like wobbling, and I looked and I was like, you know what? I was like, do you need a sandwich or something? And he looked at me and he was like, yeah, but he was like, he wasn't all there. I was like, all right, I'll be right back. And I just hit the corner store and I went and got him a sandwich so he could like soak that liquor up.
Yeah.
And-
Sandwich and a nap.
Yeah, and then by the time I came back, he was dead.
Oh
Shut
no.
the fuck up.
He was just like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, I was like, I got you your sandwich, you know. And this is just like this past summer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got you your sandwich, and he wouldn't wake up. And then like it was fucked up because like a cop drove by and he was like looking at him, and then he kept driving.
You see that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn. And then when he came back, he was like, hey man, is everything okay? I was like, you need to call an ambulance. I was like, he's dead. You know, and he was. He died right there.
So I work in Midtown. I see that a lot. And I'm like, are they alive? Like, and I'm quick to go up to them. Like, I really am. I will go up to them and give them, if I have shoes, if I have socks, whatever they need. Just because I feel so bad. Like, I understand that it's a lifestyle and they're choosing to be out there, but
they're still humans.
They're still human.
Yeah.
You have to
still
treat them
people.
with decency. You
And
really do.
you don't know what they went through. You know, some of them might have lost their kids or, you know, like been through like some really fucked up shit.
Yeah, whole house burnt down, lost everything.
Yeah, or was getting raped since they were a kid, or like you never.
I spent hours. It was just almost a month ago. So I've spent years trying to find my best friend since I was 12. So she is homeless, obviously living on the street. She has been for quite some time. But I've spent years trying to find her, and then I just spent hours like a month ago, and I finally tracked her down. And I was like, and all inhibition went out in the world. Like it just went out the window. Like I work with the homeless. That's what I do for a living.
Good shit.
And so, but like everything went out the window. Like she asked me if I had cash on me. I gave her every piece of cash I had in my purse. Like, here you go. She's like, do you have any cigarettes? I'm like, here's my whole pack. And then it broke my heart because here's my best friend that I love so much. And she just looked me dead in my face and told me that they just found her sister dead a month ago and there was no emotion on her face at all. And I was like, oh, you're really far gone. Like you're gone.
Right.
And I was like, I just messed up. I should not have given you cash. I should not have given you I should have got you a sandwich is what I should have done.
Yeah.
And then she looked at me and she broke my heart worse than this girl ever has because she looked me dead in my face and she was like, I'm going to go get well now. And I was like, great. I just contributed to that. Like, that's horrible. But it broke my heart because it's like, no matter how much, like, in her story is she did lose her kids. I know why she's out there. I know what made her turn to this, you know. She fell in love, followed the guy, started using drugs, and just
went from there.
It went from there. But then once you're in that lifestyle for so long, trying to get you out of that lifestyle is just impossible.
Right.
It really, really is. She was like, oh, because I was like, you know, if you have any resources, like, please call me, you know. And she was like, no, I'm doing really good. And I'm looking at her like, bitch, you were living in a tent behind cars on the bar. And she's like, yeah, no, we're doing really good. And I'm like,
hey, she just saw her last week. She might have had less than that.
But I'm just
you don't know. That could be doing good.
I'm just looking at her like, the fuck are you talking about? You're doing really good. Like, let me help you. And she doesn't want the help. She just wanted my cash. Like, she just wanted my cash and my cigarettes and then gone.
I remember when I was coming into Anchorage, and it's like the intersection right there where at the Northway Mall.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was somebody there with a sign.
Oh, Airport Heights. Sorry.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them some money and then go straight to the L store.
Yep.
They're not going to get nothing to eat.
Yep.
And so I pulled up on him. I was like, hey, come over here. And we were right at the light. And he came running over. And I was like, here. And I gave him a whole bunch of tall cans. Because, you know, if somebody quits somebody quits cold turkey, they could die.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, I know what you want. You want the liquor.
Yeah.
But here's some money too.
Yeah.
You know, so you go get yourself something to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like shit, you know, just to get them through the night, you know?
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Me and
Chances
my
are
daughter.
he might have bought him a sandwich then.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah. Because he already
Me
had
and
the
my
booze.
daughter
You
will
already
go.
had it, you know? He was good.
Yeah, smart.
We have some homeless out here in the valley, and me and my daughter will go and buy food for them, or any food that I have in my car I'm going to give out. Unfortunately, I am one of those people that will still hand out whatever cash I have on me. It's a really horrible habit, but I know that regardless of whatever they're using that money on, it's making their life somewhat better. Whether it be alcohol, whatever it may be, whether it be a sandwich that I hope that they're getting, I just tell myself they're getting a sandwich.
Right.
I know damn well that they're probably not.
I know it.
But I tell myself that they are, and regardless, I'm still helping them.
Right.
It is what it is. I try.
So Slice, your Apple Music says your top 3 songs are I'm from Fairbanks, Bibles and Bullets, and The North. If there was someone who never heard your music before, what 3 songs would you tell them?
I think that one's from my other account.
You got it could be because the music on here looks a little
there's-
older.
There's
You got more than one?
There's another one.
I
Let's
just clicked
pull up
on
his Apple Music.
I just clicked on the first one. But my question was, if someone never heard of you, what 3 songs would you want them to listen to first to get to know you better?
Damn, that's tough. I'd probably say In My Moccasins.
Motherfucker.
You want me to tell you what your other top 3 are?
Losing My Mind.
In My Moccasins, Losing My Mind, and Do Bad.
Do Bad. Yeah, that's a good little list right there. Yeah, and then
Are all 3 of those new? I know 2 of those are newer
One
than
is,
these.
so Losing My Mind is 2023 and Do Bad is 2025.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
That's got that
And he
sunset
also
or
has
the,
Ain't No Grave.
Oh, Ain't No Grave's dope too. Yeah, a little
Why do you
Johnny
got-
Cash.
Why do you
Oh,
got 2?
Piece of shit. What a nice name.
Piece of shit. Oh, that's a good one too.
He's over here hyping himself up like, oh, damn, keep going. That's a good one too. That's
Tell me
fire.
more.
Yeah, that's fuego right there.
What are your 3 songs you want someone to check out
Um,
to get to know you better as an artist?
In My Moccasins. Probably Losing My Mind and Killing Out of Boredom with Nate
Okay.
Dogg.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
With who?
Nate Dogg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
The big
Your
Nate Dogg
titles
fan.
of your songs, bro. I can't with them.
Oh, based on the stories I've already heard so far in the last 40 minutes,
They
you've
sound
seen a lot of
accurate.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is I wrote that song when I was locked up. I wrote down what I was gonna do, and I told everybody what I was gonna do, and I did it. And there were some things that I just wasn't able to do, and it was like work with Nate Dogg. That was one of the fucking main ones. And he died from a stroke when I was locked up, and I was just like, fuck. So I used to call home and shit, and I was like, man, just play some Nate Dogg for me.
Hell yeah.
You know, and I would just like listen to
You
it
get those
over
calls
the
every
phone.
day.
I get calls like that all the time.
And just like listening to music, and I'm just like, fuck. You know, because he's like one of my all-time favorites. And then I got thrown the alley-oop, and it was like a rough day with like my kids. And I remember I was sitting there and I was just like defeated just because I was so fucking tired, but I wanted to do that song. So I had to do it on the day that he passed. And I remember I just sat there and I just bowed my head and I was like listening to the song, and then I was like praying, and I was even like talking like to Nate, like hopefully through prayer. And I was like, man, just help guide me on what I should do with this. I was listening to the beat, or like kept listening to the song like maybe like for like 20 to 30 minutes. And then something just hit me and I felt it and I started getting like chills and shit. And I was like, I'm ready. That whole song, I didn't write nothing down.
Oh, no shit.
Nothing.
Damn.
Nothing.
Do you still know it to this day?
What?
The song?
It's
your
new.
verse?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's just one take.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't write nothing down.
No, I
oh,
didn't write
Jay-Z.
nothing down.
Jay-Z
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any studio pet peeves?
I really don't like a lot of people in the studio.
Same as T-Rock. That's
good
the same
answer.
thing he
Yeah.
says every time.
I really don't like it. I mean, it's cool and shit, but it's just a lot going on to where you can't really
Lock
concentrate.
in.
Exactly.
Lock in and blast off.
That's why I like to be reclusive, and I got like a studio set up in the village. Everywhere I go, I got a set up.
Okay.
You know, like if there's something going on, boom, cut the mic on.
You're there, yep.
You know, like if I'm feeling something, cut the mic on. But like out in the village, I don't got nothing to worry about. I'm away from everything, and I just get to create.
Yeah.
You know, because there might be somebody like, oh man, what you want to eat from blah 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 blah, or what you want to, you know what I'm saying? Oh hell yeah, remember that time and whatever the fuck. But it's just like, damn, like I'm just like trying to concentrate, and it really is hard when
Yeah,
there's
100%. I
a
know
lot of
exactly
things-
what the fuck you're
a lot of
talking
things
about.
are going on.
If you're not there to rap, you don't need to be in here.
Mhm.
He finally let me go with him to a studio session because he is anal retentive. He don't like nobody in
Nobody.
the studio.
If
Him
you're
and
not
money.
here to work, I don't need
That's
you here.
it. Him
Exactly.
and money.
Yeah, and
He-
I'm paying for this time.
And he
Exactly.
finally let me go with him, and he was like, "But you gotta be quiet the whole time we're there."
Yeah.
I stayed silent as a mother.
What else?
I think that's it.
Just not too many
Just not
people.
too many
I guess that
people.
kind of almost takes care of it all, don't
Wait,
it?
and
Yeah.
you're headed to the studio tonight?
Huh?
And you're headed to the studio tonight?
There might be
Yeah.
some people there, but they're, they're probably there to
Hey.
work.
Yeah, but you know, like I'm used to that shit though. Like, you know, when I was in Seward and I was locked up, we were in the music room and I had to make all the fucking beats. So there was like a lot of us in there, but we were all writing
Working.
to the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, like there might be like 6 of us on the same song, but you know, we were just writing.
Yeah.
You know, like I did like a whole album when I was in fucking Seward.
Is there any Alaskan artists that influence you? Or that you're like, hey, they're pretty dope. Like I kind of like that style.
I think just the Alaska scene in general influences me.
Okay.
You
Dope
know,
answer.
yeah, it's like like everything. Like I sit like there's nothing, and you can even ask Mikey this. There's nothing that I don't miss.
Okay.
I'm watching everything. Like even though you may think I'm just, but no, I'm watching everything, and then
Okay.
I get inspired by a lot of people and a lot of artists, and that kind of helps me to keep going too. And I like that how the scene is building. And you know, there's some times where this person might have it, or this group might have it, or they might be the popping one, or this, that, and the third. But like, I'm a congratulator.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, not
you
a
ain't
hater.
You ain't a hater.
Hell nah. You know, it's like there's no room for hate when it comes to building the scene.
Yeah.
There's no fucking room for that shit. And there's sometimes when people like ask me questions and I could tell it's geared up for controversy,
Right.
and I just don't give into that shit. You know,
Good.
fuck that. It's like we
Yeah.
got to.
That's that grown man shit.
Yeah. It's like we gotta. And there's always Fairbanks and Anchorage. It's like, man, what the fuck is the difference, man? We're all from the same motherfucking state.
Yeah.
And that's what I say all the time, that it's really going to take Alaska as a whole to even put Alaska on the map, because
Exactly.
Alaska is literally just a blip. Like, people don't even know there's a music scene here. Out of all the times that I've been out of state to different things, people don't know there's a music scene in Alaska. They
Right.
really don't. So that's why I say it really is going to take Alaska as a whole to put Alaska even on the map.
Right.
Like, fuck how big you think you are right now here in Alaska. You're not even on the map in real life.
Right. Yeah.
The only person I know that they ask about outside of state, and correct me if I'm wrong, is Joker from 20 years ago.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah, they ask about, and that's 20 years ago. So to everybody out of state, Alaska ain't have a music scene since 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but Joker was doing his thing though. I remember watching his shit on Uncut when I
Yeah.
was
On
a kid.
BET Uncut.
I'd be waking up and shit, just a kid watching it. You know what I'm saying? With that shit that he did with Bone Thugs and them, right? Or was it Busy Bone? Or was it all of them?
I think it
But it
was
was just-
Crazy. I thought it was Crazy Bone.
No,
No,
Busy
Busy.
Bone.
Yeah,
It is
Busy.
Busy Bone,
Busy
yeah.
Bone. 5 years ago, you dropped that song with Afro Man, iPhone porn star,
Yeah.
and you got the video.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Afro Man. He's like a brother to me. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the most genuine motherfuckers, man, that
He
you would
is
ever
really dope.
that you would ever meet. And he told me, he was like, man, whenever you, or if you're in my area and I have a show, he's like, come by so we could do the iPhone porn star shit. So whenever he's doing a show, and if I pop up on him or whatever, you know, it's like he has that shit. He has like this machine, and then he just hits the buttons, and one of the buttons is iPhone porn star. So he always has it locked and loaded.
Oh no shit.
Have
Yeah.
you met him?
Who Afro Man?
Yes.
No.
He is really good people. He's
yeah.
very humble. He's very personable. He is really good people.
Mm-hmm. He is.
I took my daughter to meet him, my 19-year-old. You know, he started trending again on TikTok. So they're all like, oh shit, Afro Man, Colt 45. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, I've been
Yeah.
hearing this since I was
7th
14.
grade,
Like,
yeah.
bro, stop playing
Right.
with me. But she was super hyped to go meet him. So I actually took her to go meet him. And she was
Yeah.
she lost her mind. She
Yeah.
lost her mind.
He's just one of those guys that shows you all it takes is one.
Yeah.
All it takes is one, and he's still touring off that.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going viral again, you know?
It
It's
really is.
crazy.
It really is.
And you do a lot of music, I see, with D-Loke the Gill God.
Yeah.
Who the hell's that?
He's one of the fastest rappers in the world. He was on
Oh, really?
He was on Tech Nine's Worldwide Choppers and Midwest Choppers.
I was going
Okay.
to say, okay.
I had no idea who he was.
Yes.
I just see him
listened
on
to
a lot of your
Tech
stuff.
Nine, so I was like, hold on.
Yeah, D-Lo, I call him. We talk to each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? He puts me on game with a whole bunch of shit. But yeah, man, D-Lo, that's my brother. We went and did like a little tour with Lynch. We did like a short stint of Tech Nine's tour and shit like that. And
That is dope.
Hell yeah.
And then I was down there in Kansas with him, and Dilemma was down there too, and that's when I met the Popper. But yeah, man, D-Lo D-Loke is good people, man. You know, he's a brother to me, and he you know, like, I'm like a student when it comes to this hip hop shit, and I just sit there and I just learn,
Soak it up.
soak everything up. You know, like,
Hell yeah.
I know I've been doing this shit for a long time, but I still consider myself a student, and I just sit there and I just listen, I soak that shit up, and like D-Loke's style is what really taught me how to chop, you know, and I just been like staying on that until I perfected the craft, because I wanted to do everything. Like first I was like doing like a lot of rap with like metaphors in it, you know, like punchlines and shit like that. And fucking then I was like, man, I want to chop. So like I would write every single day until I fucking got that shit down. And I finally did. And like now I'm in like in the talk with like you know, like in the circle of choppers and shit like that. And like people that are a fan of like fast rap and shit like that, like fucking posting about me on their Instagrams, like from down in the States and shit, and really doing their fucking research. And I think that's shit's cool, you know.
That's a great quality to have. Never stop learning, because there is a lot of people who think that they know what they know. They're the GOAT. They know everything they need to know. They don't need to learn from anybody. I would rather you put me at a table with 10 people doing better than me than 10 people that are doing the same or less than me.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to learn always.
Yeah, me too.
And you've, I see you got a relationship with Cassius.
Oh, that's my brother too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, he has this song called "Talk That Shit," and
it was on the re-up album, wasn't it?
I don't know where it might be on there.
Yeah.
But I think I got it off LimeWire or something, and
Sounds about right.
I still carry that motherfucker around with me today. That's one of the hardest shits I've ever in my whole catalog of music.
Yeah, we got the same tat, Savage Language, because that's what we are. But he's so fucking tatted up because we did it down in LA. There was like no spots on him, so he had to get it on his leg. Okay. Yeah, so we got the same tattoo on a Savage Language, and I've been fucking with Cassius since I was like 19.
How'd you run into him?
Just his contact info. I got it through Rick Anati, who's my producer till this day.
Okay.
And he produced on that Eminem album and on the re-up when Cassius was signed to M. And I got his contact info through Rick Anati. And then from there, shit, it's just been on. And as soon as I got out, I hit him up after I did that 6 years. And I flew down to LA, and we did the Darkened Days album, and then I went back down there the next time, and we did If Bandanas Were Halos, and we performed on, or not performed, but we recorded on Dr. Dre's equipment. It was the same equipment that was used for the Chronic 2001 all the way up to I Need a Doctor.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I remember Rick Anati, he was like, man, so what's going to be the first song? Because I had him behind the boards. And I was like, Hennessy and Blunt Smoke. It's only right, you know? So we did Hennessy and Blunt Smoke.
What was that studio like? Dope?
Fuck yeah.
The dopest shit you ever saw?
Was that a dream come true?
It was. That shit just gave me chills again, just thinking about that shit.
What advice do you have for other local artists
coming up behind you
that don't have any songs with people who are out there like that?
Just keep pushing, you know, because you don't really necessarily have to have a big name artist on your song or on your album, just as long as you're dope, you know, because you got to think about it like this, like you should be the one carrying the song and not the feature.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, and if you get killed by the feature or whatever, just go back to the drawing board and figure out how you could do that shit better, and just take it as like a lesson instead of an L, you know, because there's times where I got to go back to the drawing board and like learn from my mistakes and shit. But, you know, that just only makes me better and shit. You know, there may be times where, you know, you want to give up and you want to quit and you think that shit ain't fucking getting you nowhere. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, that's the devil. And there's always a fucking blessing around the corner because, you know, he wants you to stop. He doesn't want you to fucking be great. You know, when that shit is just right there, you know, and he knows it when it's right there too. That's why he does everything. Like, that's what I noticed when there's like a whole bunch of drama in my life. You know, I might have these problems coming at me, 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 you know, and then it kind of knocks you off of your pivot somehow, you know, to where you're focused on those things.
Yeah.
But you're not focused on what's in front of you.
The positive and the good.
And I was talking to Mikey the other day. He called me and he was like, Slice, you need to stay focused. He's like, you got a good thing going on right now. And then there's all this shit that's coming at me. And, you know, like me being like the sav that I am, I'm like, man, fuck that, man. I'm going to go fucking ride on this, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. But then I was sitting there and I was really thinking about it. I was like, you know what? You know, he's right. And I started thinking it's almost like being in like an armored truck, right? You see the goal right there and you're almost there.
Yeah.
And people are like shooting at you. But it's going to deflect that shit and protect you, but you're still fucking worried about those shots that are coming.
Yeah.
You know, when you should be focused on what's
where you're
ahead of
headed.
you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're safe, you're good. Just keep it fucking pushing.
Yeah.
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 Keep your eyes on the road and mind on the mission.
Exactly. Because there's been many times where, you know, I've been played when it comes to this music shit. And people have played me for my bread and, you know, and this, that, and the third. And, you know, like kind of took advantage of me, like, especially like when I was younger and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
And but it really opened my eyes to see how greedy people are. You know, you might be the dopest motherfucker, but they try to make it seem like you're not.
Yeah.
To kind of put you below them.
So you're questioning yourself so that they can put you below them. Yes.
Yeah. But it's like, man, fuck all that shit. You know, if you're doing music and you're just now coming up, man, don't stop. Fuck what people got to say. You know, there's always going to be haters, but me, I get more love than I do hate.
And do you believe there's an age limit? Like, do you believe that there's like a certain age where you're like, okay, if you haven't done anything great by now, then go ahead. You need to put your hat up.
I think it depends on what you're talking about.
Like if you're a local rapper, right?
Yeah, I know that, but
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is like it's about like what you're talking about.
In
your music.
In your music,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Like if you matured, you know what I'm saying, and like where you're at in life, then yeah, talk about that shit. But you can't talk about
what you did when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 40s.
You know, you can't be still fucking sipping lean and the motherfucker's like 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or
you got to grow up. You got to graduate like the Jay-Z flow.
Exactly.
you got to talk about
you got to level up with different shit. Like
so as long as you're leveling up your lyrics and there's no age limit to it. But if you're 40 still talking about bitches, drugs, guns, all that shit.
That's played out. Like I can tell if you're young and you're like really fucking living that shit.
Yeah.
You know, then yeah, you know, talk that shit. But if you know, once you start getting up there,
the conversation got to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are 3 things that you need when you hit the studio?
Weed. 1.
1. We hear that answer a lot. That's probably the number 1 answer that we get.
For sure. I mean, it definitely helps to get rid of the bullshit in the area, so you could hone in. So, do you still write in your phone, or are you pen and pad guy? Still do both?
I do it all. So I'll write in my phone. Sometimes, like when I want to take it back to like a, like my older flow, which is like what a lot of people really like, you know, then I'll go back to the pen and pad because it just kind of like helps ground me a little bit, and it makes me remember where I came from, like writing when I was locked up and facing all that time and shit like that. And then there's some times where I just don't even write at all. It just kind of depends.
You just punch in?
Sometimes I punch. Sometimes I just go all the way.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just hit us with 3.5 minutes, so.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's premeditated, man. There's no way there's no way, man.
But I'm saying he memorized that 3.5 minutes just off top.
Yeah. I generally would write on paper and then just recite it 1,000 fucking times before I go to the studio, just because I'm paying for the time and I don't like to fuck around.
Oh, he's anal. He is that guy. So I'm gonna ask you if you're the same way, because he is that guy. I will tell you, when I went to the studio with him, this motherfucker brought a checklist with him, and he told Money, he said, "This is what we're doing, exactly this, and this, and this, and nothing else." And he got in that mic booth and he just this, and this, and this, and he said, "I'm done. That's it." Are you that way, or do you just let it flow? Wait. First, let me ask, are you paying for studio time?
He says he's got a studio or wherever he goes.
Okay, so you're not paying for studio time.
Nah, so I'm like...
Okay, so if you were paying for studio time, are you going to come in with a checklist and you're only hitting those points on the checklist?
I don't come in with a checklist. The only time I ever I paid for studio time, like recently, was working with Raw.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that's well worth the fucking money.
For sure.
He said for sure.
Hey. Raw, man, that's that.
You couldn't
guy.
give him enough.
Like the last album I did the burnt disc, and so basically what I did was like flip a whole bunch of older tracks and had it like they were all like live, and I had them flip like Black Street and Nirvana and shit like that. And
I see him live all the time on TikTok. I'm like, does he ever sleep?
No, that's what he does.
I know.
Hey, he got to get that paper. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
he's
saying?
getting
I'm like,
paid.
I don't feel like he ever sleeps. Every time I get on TikTok, he's in my.
That's paying his bills.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Ra is hands down probably the best producer that ever came out of Alaska.
Yeah.
He is so fucking gifted, and he just has that fucking ear, and he's gonna make sure that you're straight.
Do you ever jump on his lives and be like, I want this one?
No, I jump on it like sometimes when he plays music and shit. Like I remember like a year ago, I hopped on his live and I was like, play this, and I got a lot of love because I had that song, that Losing My Mind, on the radio. And I was like, fuck it, let's just see what it does.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's like I got like a 9 out of 10 or something like
Hell
that.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people were fucking with it, and I was like, okay,
I heard you say you have kids. How many kids?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you find the time to balance work and life?
It's tough. That's why I when I slid down here, I was like, man, I got to make this shit worth it. And just get everything,
You gotta get everything out of the way at once.
Everything knocked out. Yeah, because like I'm at the point in life right now where, my kids mean everything to me. Like to whereas like I used to be in the studio all the time, but then I started to realize like how somewhat selfish that was, because it was like taking a whole bunch of time away from my kids and shit like that.
Yeah.
To where I could be there with them and and watch them grow and shit. I mean, like, even though I am there, like I'm not an absent
You're
parent.
not there.
Yeah, but when I could just always, instead of like, I got to knock out these 2 songs, and I'm just like in the lab for a long ass fucking time. And, like I still cook dinner and shit, but I could still like be present. So like now, lately I just been, just like focused on my kids and shit like that.
How old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
11, 7, and 4, all girls.
Okay, so you got
Look
3
at you
girls.
go.
Oh,
Blair.
yes.
It's a player's curse.
Yeah.
That's gonna sit a daddy down real quick.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. Is there any Alaska artist that you want to work with that you haven't yet?
Yeah, but it's not like an artist,
What do you mean?
a band.
Oh, okay.
I think it'd be cool to do something with
With a real band?
36 Crazy Fists would be fucking sick.
That would be okay. That's a sick answer, bro. That's a sick answer.
Yeah, like something like that would be fucking cool, because I first started out playing the guitar when I was young, and I fell in love with the blues, and I was playing the drums and like the piano and shit like that. But like I've been a fan of like all genres, but I think like to do like a hip hop song with like 36 Crazy Fists would be fucking hard. Ain't nobody ever done no shit like that.
No,
Yeah.
I think it'd be fire.
Legendary
That'd be
shit,
fire.
for sure. If a local artist wanted to do a song with you or send you something, does it have to be completely mixed? Does it need to be
No.
with the hook on it, without?
Yeah, just
Send you your slot?
just send that, and I got them.
Are you willing to just give them? Do you do a lot of verses? You just give them away, or
Yeah,
are
because
you more picky with how you choose to work with people?
well, I don't like it when there's like $1 in between making music with somebody and like creating something.
Okay.
It's like they might not have like the money or some
Right.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Me, I do it because it's my passion.
Right.
The money will come.
You're a really humble person.
Yeah, like
I like that.
the money will come.
Yeah.
But I do it for the passion, because
Okay.
like ever since I was a kid, music has always been there.
Okay.
When my mom and dad were strung out on crack, music was always there.
Right.
When my dad did 17 years in the feds, music was always there.
Music is
When
always there.
when I was going from house to house, and me and my siblings, we didn't, like for a place to stay, music was always there. When I was like couch surfing, like trying to sell whatever I could just to fucking keep me afloat, like from crack house to crack house, music was always there. When I was facing all that time, when I was doing time, and I all I could do was just beat on the walls to make a fucking beat and fucking like write, music was always there.
Hell yeah.
When I lost all my homies and shit like that, music was always there. It's like, so it's about the passion.
So let me ask you this: if somebody sends you a trash ass verse, like you're not feeling it at all, Are you still giving them a verse or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are?
Yeah, because that might be dope to them. Like that
Okay.
verse, like they might hear that shit like that shit's hard as hell.
Okay.
But like I'm not gonna be like, nah, man, fuck that. That shit. You got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Because when I first started rapping, I sucked.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
gets embarrassed when somebody brings up his first couple
I
songs.
know.
He's
Hey,
like,
shit,
hell
no,
nah.
I was trash.
He
But
has
like,
people ask for him all the time. He's like, no.
but practice makes perfect.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know, and just like maybe like that might spark something in that person to where they just want to keep it pushing and they elevate.
Okay.
You know, so like when it comes to that, I never put a price.
You might be the
Different.
most humble local rapper I have came across. I will give you that.
I'm cool.
are
We're about
humble.
at the hour mark. You got any shout outs or anything you want to say?
Let me shout out my homeboy Mikey. You know,
Yep.
I wish he was here with me right now.
Yep.
You know, he took his time like a man on the chin. You know, that's my brother. And I want to shout out to every rapper in Alaska that's doing it or that might not even be heard to keep it pushing. And, you know, let's give a special shout out to everybody that's locked up, everybody that's in rehab,
Yes.
everybody that's in detox,
Yep.
everybody that's in the homeless shelter, the women's shelter, all the kids that are in foster homes, even people that are in the old folks home. And, you know, I hope that they keep their head up, and I hope that the staff and even people that are in the psych ward and on the 4th floor and in the hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope that the staff, that God helps guide their hands and who they are as a person to make their time, easier and help get them to where they need to go without without everything being so hard on them. And I want to give another special shout out to everybody that's homeless, you know, and that they get it together and they get back on their feet and that they know that they are somebody.
Absolutely.
And I think that's it. A shout out to the South Side.
And for those people,
Southside.
who don't know how to find you online, go ahead and drop your shit
Bishop Slice on everything.
on everything.
On everything.
On everything.
Yeah, Bishop
Two
Slice on
different
in the house.
profiles on
And-
Apple
hey.
Music. Y'all heard that.
And you know, and shout out to Petarock, you know, and his wife for continuing to fucking push this hip hop scene. You know, like they don't got to be here interviewing motherfuckers and shit like that. They could be kicking it right now, you know, probably parlaying, fucking watching like a little fucking movie or some shit, and enjoying time with their family. But they're down here and they got this fucking podcast just because of their love for the fucking scene. So you know what? Shout out to y'all.
Appreciate
Thank
you, brother.
Thank you.
You got anything you want to say?
No, he took all the words. I mean, he said everything. As always, I do
ahead.
have to say, as always, check out the website for merch, local907.com, LOKAL907.com.
And shout out to our sponsors,
I don't
Magic
know the
Media.
sponsors, so you're gonna have to do
This
that
is
part.
the last episode for Magic Media. We appreciate you at the Glamour Bar, GLAMOURBARD on Instagram and TikTok. We appreciate you. They sponsor 20 episodes. and
We
it's
are looking
been
for
a
new
long time.
sponsors.
We are looking for more sponsors. Other than that, man, catch us on the next one, man. Peace.
Don't make me walk this chopper. Big whip, you know we riding. No place for you to hide it. Drop location and we slide it. Don't make me walk this chopper. Don't IG flex, we